Am I the whole for not having a relationship with my dad and his family because his wife is the affair partner and they talked crap about my mom? I'm 16M, and to say that my family situation is complicated would be putting it lightly. My mom and dad were married when she got pregnant with me. It was supposed to be a joyful time, but that joy got ripped away before I was even born. While she was still pregnant, my mom found out my dad was cheating on her with a woman named Lauren. That betrayal alone would have been devastating, but what came after made it so much worse. My dad and Lauren moved in together almost immediately after my mom found out. Then Lauren ended up pregnant too. So while my mom was still trying to emotionally survive the fallout of the affair, while carrying me, my dad had already moved on and was starting a new family. From the very beginning, it was toxic. After I was born, my dad and Lauren tried to get custody of me. They wanted to take me away from my mom completely. They even called CPS on her to try to build a case, but nothing worked. The court sided with my mom because she wasn't unfit, she was just the woman who got cheated on and then targeted. Despite everything, the custody battle ended in my mom's favor. And yet, it never really ended. When I was around 3 years old, a shared custody arrangement was set up. That meant I had to spend time with my dad and Lauren whether I liked it or not. For a long time, I didn't have much say. It wasn't until last year that I was able to convince the court to reduce it to 50-50, and then just a few months ago, I finally got the choice of who I wanted to live with. The only condition was that I couldn't block or mute either parent while I was still a minor. My dad and Lauren now have 6 kids together. Their oldest, my half-brother, is less than a year younger than me. So yeah, you can do the math. She was pregnant with him while my mom was still pregnant with me. Growing up, I heard things no kid should ever have to hear. At my dad and Lauren's house, they talked absolute shit about my mom. It wasn't even subtle. It was constant and cruel. I remember being really young, maybe 5 or 6, and they'd say stuff like how my mom gave birth to me early because she didn't care about me. That she didn't even try to breastfeed me to make up for it. That she hated my half-brother and wished he was dead. They'd say she didn't love me, that she was selfish, that she didn't want me to have a relationship with my real family. They'd call her ugly, fat, lazy, every insult you can think of. They'd compare her gifts to theirs, tell me she didn't give me siblings like they did, as if that was a moral failing. Lauren once told me my mom's womb was rotted because she was such a bad mother. I didn't even know what that meant at the time, but I knew it wasn't okay. Around the same age, my mom sat me down and told me the truth about why she didn't get along with my dad and Lauren. She said they'd had an affair and that they had tried to take me away from her. She did it with a therapist present, which looking back, I respect even more. She wanted me to hear it once, clearly, and from her directly. She was afraid if she didn't, I'd be poisoned against her by the constant lies and manipulation. I asked my dad about it. He didn't deny it. In fact, years later, he flat out told me he didn't regret what he did. That if he had the chance, he'd do it all over again, only he'd make sure he won next time. That was the moment something snapped in me. Whatever thread of attachment I still had to him frayed into nothing. And every memory of them bad-mouthing my mom burned brighter. I couldn't shake the resentment. I didn't want to be in that house. I didn't want to be around him, Lauren, or their kids. I felt like an outsider in a family I never asked to be part of, and worse, one that actively disrespected the woman who raised me. So I started acting out. At first it was just withdrawal. Then it became defiance. I wouldn't talk to them. I'd stay in my room. I'd refuse to engage with my half-siblings. I got in trouble constantly at their house. I started calling them cheaters to their faces about 3 years ago. That pissed them off. But I didn't care. They earned it. They told me I had no right to be upset, that I wasn't even born when the affair happened. As if that made it okay. As if it didn't affect the entire trajectory of my life. I told them I didn't care when it happened. They cheated, they tried to steal me from my mom, and they trashed her every chance they got. Lauren once snapped back at me and said, "If your mom was so great, your dad never would have wanted me in the first place." I just told her, "You're both gross." I was in therapy on and off for most of my childhood, thanks to my mom, who always tried to make sure I had support. One of the therapists helped me find the words and tools to ask the court to reduce contact. They encouraged me to handle it maturely, to stay calm, to stop lashing out, and to show I could take responsibility. And weirdly, that worked. Judges listened when I didn't act like I was just throwing tantrums. I stopped calling them names to their faces. I just started slowly pulling back. Step by step, I got my distance. Now, I live full-time with my mom. I transferred schools, so I wouldn't even have to bump into my half-siblings. Because, honestly, I don't care that they're innocent. I know they didn't cheat. I know they didn't say those things. But they're part of that life. And I don't want any part of it. I didn't ask to be shoved into a messy, chaotic blended family where I was always the outsider, always the reminder of the affair that started it all. My dad texts me all the time. I haven't blocked or muted him because I legally can't, but I have blocked Lauren and the kids. I don't want to hear from them. I don't want updates. I don't want "I miss you" texts. Dad's messages are mostly guilt trips now. He keeps saying his kids miss me, that it's not fair, that I'm being selfish and cruel for cutting them out. He thinks that if he pushes the sibling angle enough, I'll crack. I've only replied to him twice. Once I said I didn't care. The second time, I told him to F*** off. That's it. He keeps texting. I keep ignoring. I know he wants me to feel bad. But I don't. Not anymore. So, am I the a-hole for not wanting a relationship with my dad, his wife, aka the woman who helped blow up my family, or their kids?